Coming up on the Hilton Head News, Islanders send some relief and holiday cheer up north to victims of Superstorm Sandy. Also ahead, we'll learn about a special campaign designed to raise awareness of fire safety over the holiday season. And Santa pays a visit to students of Neighborhood Outreach Connection. Stand by, the Hilton Head News is next. Welcome to the Hilton Head News. Here are the headlines for Monday, December 10th. 3 out of 4 people living in South Carolina believe that the state government didn't have adequate protection when hackers stole the financial data belonging to 6.4 million taxpayers, children, and businesses. That information comes from a Winthrop University poll done for the state newspaper. The hacking incident has had an impact on how South Carolinians view Governor Nikki Haley. According to that poll, the governor's approval rating stands at 38% among the almost 1,000 people surveyed. However, it's lower among those who thought the state failed to protect personal data, dropping to 35%. If you visited Charles Sampson's Charter One Realty office last week, you might have thought that it was kind of a mess. That's because items donated by Charter One staff, area realtors, and the First Presbyterian Day School were stacked up and being packed up to be taken to victims of Superstorm Sandy. High Tide and Rainbow International donated the use of their truck so the items could be delivered for the holidays.
You know, you got to help people. We're doing it for a company called CSI, which he has 1,500 employees. And they're along the coast in New Jersey and New York. We're going to take the stuff up tonight, my daughter and I, and deliver it to Newtown, Pennsylvania, where one of their offices is. And then they'll take it and deliver it into New York and New Jersey along the coast where their employees are.
Among those helping to load the truck, Maestro John Morris Russell, who just the night before had conducted a concert with the Hilton Head Symphony Orchestra.
This is what the season is all about. It's about people reaching out and helping each other and being citizens of the earth. And that means, you know, helping out people when they need a hand. And it's fantastic that folks here have gathered together to do this extraordinary and important work.
We're humbled by the support and appreciate what people have done. This is a great community. I mean, I know I sell real estate here, but and we've got great golf and we've got great tennis and the beach, but you know, the people that live here really make Hilton Head great.
If you drive by Fire Station 3 on Hilton Head Island over the holidays, you'll see that the station has done lots of decorating with festive lights placed all around the building. When you're there, you won't be able to miss a giant wreath in front with the sign, "Keep the Wreath Green." Cinda Seaman explains that it's part of an educational campaign aimed at promoting fire safety.
What we do is put up a wreath on Thanksgiving. We light it the day after, and it remains lit until January 2nd. Now, we hope that we'll keep the wreath green. It comes with all green lights, but every time we do have a fire over the holidays, one of the bulbs will turn white. This year, we're already at 7 white bulbs, 7 fires already since Thanksgiving. And we do this as sort of an extra reminder for people to pay attention to fire safety throughout the year, mostly during the holidays, because that's a pretty vulnerable time, but to remind them that all year long we need to practice fire safety and we need to pay attention to our own fire safety. We are responsible for keeping our community safe.
For updates on the wreath and fire safety tips, you can go to the town website at hiltonheadisland.gov. Well, there was a crowd gathered at the community center of the Oaks Apartments on Sunday. Families were there to celebrate the holidays with Neighborhood Outreach Connection, the nonprofit organization that provides a preschool and after-school program at the Oaks. Santa Claus handed out gifts and posed with children and their families for photos. The tree was decorated with homemade ornaments made by students of NOC's kindergarten class. Well, savvy shoppers made a trip to the Coastal Discovery Museum on Friday. That's because Friday was the day that the museum held its annual holiday sale. There were all kinds of jams and spices from the Low Country for sale, as well as holiday ornaments of all shapes and sizes made out of shells. Area authors also were on hand to sign their books for shoppers planning to give friends and family a book by a local author as a special holiday present. Now here's a look at what's happening around the region. More than $100 million has been collected by the federal court system in South Carolina this year. According to U.S. Attorney Bill Nettles, $96 million has been taken in civil actions and more than $6.5 million in criminal actions. Nettles says the total dollar amount was the fifth highest collection by a U.S. Attorney's office nationwide. Nettles says his office has made recovering funds lost from fraud against the government a top priority. Well, early Monday morning, firefighters in Spartanburg County were on the scene of a plant fire, the second large fire that's occurred in that area in several days. Authorities say the fire has caused the near collapse of the building where Platronics Seals is housed. The company makes industrial packaging for the automotive and aerospace business. Now, firefighters also will continue to be on the scene for several days at an abandoned mill in Spartanburg following a suspicious fire that began Saturday night at the Sampson mill. Authorities say about 100 firefighters were needed to fight the massive blaze at the vacant textile mill. No one was injured. The Sampson mill was built back in 1906. Now, when we come back, we'll have Hot Off the Press with the Hilton Head Sun's Lynn Hummel. Also ahead, what does it really mean to network on Hilton Head Island? Charlie Clark has some answers for us. Stay right there.
Welcome to our Christmas Wonderland at Antiques and Garden Collectibles at the Greenery.
Fabulous ideas for decorating and gifts await you. What's new this year? Silver, gold, and champagne colors for Christmas. Big paper snowflakes with lights, large Christmas ornaments to hang from chandeliers, whimsy Laurie C. Mitchell figurines, mercury glass, Aunt Sadie's tree in a can aroma candles, nativity scenes, tabletop trees, and more. Make your first holiday stop Antiques and Garden Collectibles at the Greenery.
It's time for Lynn Hummel of the Hilton Head Sun for Hot Off the Press here on the Hilton Head News. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Allie.
Well, there's been some opposition expressed by nearby residents for the Chamberlain Linear Park. Can you give us some details on that?
Sure. Some of the residents near the Folly area are concerned about the proposed route for the park. They say that a proposed boardwalk and bathroom in that area would be ill-advised because of the potential for pollution into the ocean there where the Folly empties into the ocean at Burke's Beach. And also the Hilton Head Planning Commission members are concerned that a proposed boardwalk through the marsh area would upset the environmental balance there. And still others are concerned that a proposed park pathway would be too narrow and too close to the busy Highway 278.
Well, what happens from here?
Well, while the Planning Commission did sign off on the preliminary plans, they said they would send a letter to the town asking that they review these issues and concerns before the final plans are approved.
Lynn, it's holiday time. People like to pile the family in the vehicle and take a look at Christmas or holiday decorations. Can you give us some recommendations?
I sure can. We can start at Pineland Station, where there is a Christmas village set up. They've done this for a couple of years now, and this year it is done by a 16-year-old Eagle Scout, and this is part of his Eagle Scout project. His name is P.J. Peter. He's 16. And he's enlisted the help of his troop mates to help him with this village, three-dimensional mountaintop village that's all lit up, very cool. And it's open Wednesdays and Fridays from 3 to 6, Saturdays from 10 to 3, and Santa will be there on Saturdays from 11 to 1.
A lot of people miss the Dove Street Festival of Lights that is no longer on the island. Do you have any recommendations for some good neighborhoods to take in lights?
Well, we just have to be a little more creative and hunt some other places out, and there are plenty. Other areas in Folly Beach, in Folly Beach, Folly Field Road, on the flower name streets, Azalea, Camellia, and those streets. Other areas of North Forest Beach, which is around Dove Street, Ashton Cove neighborhood, and even out in Squires Gate. And don't miss Fire Station number 3, across from the Presbyterian Church on 278. Those guys really have the spirit.
They sure have done a great job, and you can actually ride around the fire station. It's decorated around the entire building. Lynn Hummel, thank you so much for joining us from the Hilton Head Sun. We appreciate your time. Charlie Clark has our business report. Great to have you on the Hilton Head News, Charlie. You're going to talk to us about networking today and how low country businesses and the community can network, particularly this time of year.
Well, you know, 'tis the season, and it is the season for networking as well. It's amazing when You look at all the opportunities they are during the holiday season, whether it's at mingling events like Business After Hours or just cocktail events and things that we all do throughout the holiday season, is an opportunity to network, because the vast majority of folks are 4 times more likely to referral network from somebody that they know. So it's all about building relationships, and the holidays give us a great opportunity to do that.
Well, building a relationship, you mentioned that, so that's not just handing out a business card, is it?
No, a lot of folks believe that networking is all about just handing out business cards, and not the case. You know, we've recently deployed at the Chamber our membership survey, and it's always interesting to see the comments that come back from that. For example, we had one comment talking about how great it is to be able to network and garner new leads and clients that they're receiving from networking events. Another comment literally said, I don't get anything out of these networking events. And sometimes it's not the event itself, it's are you working the event to your biggest advantage? And that's not just for doing business. What if you're actually looking to change careers? You know that literally less than 20% of folks get a new job based on sending out a resume. The rest is done through referrals and making connections at different networking events that helps you in your career as well.
Well, that's good information to keep in mind when you're trying to do networking. What about the impact that networking has on the local community in terms of really contributing to helping the economy?
You know, networking is really about connecting. It's connecting businesses. And obviously, as a Chamber of Commerce, we're huge proponents of connecting the Lowcountry business community. We practice what we preach when it comes to buy local. So connecting businesses, when you're buying from another business, you know, chances are next time they're possibly going to refer your business. That's networking at its best, and that's what we're hoping that all businesses in the Lowcountry will be utilizing this holiday season and beyond.
Well, Charlie Clark, Vice President of Communications for the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce, thanks for joining us with the Business Report.
Thanks, Allie.
And now up next, Angela McSwain with the RBC Heritage. Hi, Angela. Tell us what's new with the RBC Heritage.
We have a lot of new things going on at the tournament. One of my favorite new things is the Heritage Lawn, and it is in the area between 17 and 18. CBS used to be there, all their trailers and all of their equipment. That's being moved to the tennis court, so now we have this great piece of grass, and we're going to put tents there. There's going to be lots of interactive things with Bridgestone and expos, but the best thing, we're going to have a great big video board where you're going to be able to watch the broadcast and hang out at the Grey Goose Lounge.
What about any other special plans?
We also are expanding Tartan Day this year. The Tartan Day will be on the Heritage Lawn, so there'll be a lot more excitement going around doing that. Willie's got some really fun activities he's already beginning to plan.
Oh, good. It's always great to see Willie. You can't miss him. I know that it was announced on Sponsor Day that the field's going to be getting bigger at the RBC Heritage, going from 132 to 144 pro golfers. Can you explain why that is? And it's only for this year, right?
It is. It's just for this 1 year because a couple weeks ago was the last qualifying school. And that used to be the way PGA Tour players played on to the PGA Tour. That's going away. And then next year, they're going to start with a 3-tournament playoff to be able to get on the PGA Tour and on the Web.com Tour. So the season's a little short this year, so they wanted to give some of the younger guys, less experienced guys, more opportunities to play on the PGA Tour this year. So hopefully next year it'll go back to being the 132, because 144 on Thursday and Friday is going to make for some long days.
Well, Angela, you know, if you live in the area or in South Carolina, you have to know that the RBC Heritage brings millions of dollars into our state. But I know that you also raise a lot of money for charity as well. If people want to give back and get involved at the same time with the RBC Heritage, you've got something special this year, right?
We sure do. You know, a lot of people I think like, oh, I can't afford a skybox, or I can't do an expo, I don't have that kind of money or that kind of time. We have a new program called Heritage Champions for Charity, and anyone who gives money to charity can give it to us, and we will forward it on to that charity. We have a very extensive list of approved charities. But the best thing is you give us the money, we give it back to your charity, then we give a 20% gift on top of that. So if you give $1,000, we give an extra $200 to that charity of your choice.
That's great, and I know I happen to go on the website too, and you actually have those charities listed so people can check that out.
Yep, we sure do. And then if you do become a patron of the Champions for Charity program, you have opportunities to purchase credential packages that get you lots of great amenities on the golf course, like skyboxes and private dining and invitations to parties. You actually get invitations to events by becoming a Champions for Charity patron. So there's it's really exciting, lots of good stuff, only positive coming out of this program so far.
I bet, and I'm sure the nonprofits will be ecstatic about this as well. Angela McSwain of the RBC Heritage, thank you so much for joining us on the Hilton Head News.
Thank you.
And when we come back, we'll have the Daufuskie Report, and Nancy Watts will join us with a look at all there is to do on Hilton Head Island. Stay right there.
Beaufort Town Center, the perfect place to live, work, play, and shop. Uniquely located on Boundary Street, Beaufort Town Center is adjacent to city and county government buildings at the entrance of Beaufort's historic district. This new urban town center seamlessly blends lodging, office space, retail, restaurant, and residential sites with pristine views of the Intercoastal Waterway. Let the executives at Beaufort Town Center assist you with any of your real estate and leasing needs. Call today at 843-521-9000.
It's time for the Daufuskie Report with Robin Chamberlain. Robin is the chair of the Sea Island Ferry Transportation Task Force and is here as a representative of the Binya Foundation. Robin, great to have you on the Hilton Head News.
Thank you so much and good day to you.
The Daufuskie Island Historical Foundation recently dedicated the newly renovated Brothers and Sisters Oyster Society Hall. That was in November. Can you talk about the significance of the Oyster Society Hall?
Well, sure. The hall was built back in the late 1800s and belonged to the Chapin family all the way up to the 1920s. And you know, it's interesting because this facility was built as a social place. It was a way that they gathered all of their news, their information, even for charitable opportunities. So it's very significant to the area and also very promising for our historical society as well.
If I were to come over to Daufuskie, is the Oyster Society Hall open to the public, and how would I find it?
Well, it's located off of Henson Road, but right now it is not open to the public, only to private events. So if there's a private event, yes. But right now, the way that the building is established, there's panels outside, the windows are low enough where that you can come up by golf cart and just visit, look in, and read the information.
If I take a trip to Daufuskie and I make a stop at Seagrass Stables at Melrose on the beach, what would they have to offer me?
Oh, it's an awesome place. Not only can you ride horses, you can even ride on the pristine beaches of Daufuskie, but they have wagon rides, they have an equestrian center. It's just an opportunity for all kinds of things. Seagrass Stables used to be the old Melrose Resort, so it has all of the amenities.
Well, it sounds great. Now, I know that a visit both to the Brothers and Sisters Oyster Society Hall and Seagrass Stables are places visitors will want to check out, but for those that might not be familiar with how to go about it, how do folks get to Daufuskie to see these things and do these things?
It's interesting that you asked that because there is a public ferry that's ran out of Broad Creek Marina. You can check there, and it's through Calabogie Tours. You can go via that route, naturally private boat. But that kind of brings us to the update with what I wanted to talk about today was with some of the stuff with the ferry. So we do have a lot of information.
Well, give us that update if you would, Robin.
Sure. What we're doing now with the Sea Island Ferry Task Force is we're making waves, or wake if you want to say it, wake speed. But we're starting to have some very significant meetings with the LRTA, which is the Low Country Regional Transit Authority, and also with the Beaufort County Council. And we're looking to move everything forward so that we can start doing the logistics of putting together a regional ferry system.
Well, Robin Chamberlain, I know you will keep us posted on progress with that. We want to thank you for joining us on the Hilton Head News.
Thank you so very much.
And now, with some thoughts on what there is to do here on Hilton Head Island, Nancy Watts of Where to Go Hilton Head Island joins me. Hi, Nancy.
And it's another good week, and there's a lot to do.
What about music-wise? You have a good suggestion for us this time around?
Do you know they've been doing this for quite a while? On the second Friday of every month, the St. Luke's Episcopal Church has an organ concert. Sorry about that cough. And it's just wonderful. The organ. There are different organists each month, and they come and perform. There's no charge. It's very beautiful.
Oh, that's neat. And then I also, from the note you sent me, understand that the musicians or performers will talk about the music with folks in the audience.
They do that. They have different musicians. Most actually are from Hilton Head. And you know, we are so fortunate here to have so many great musicians, so many great organists. You know, our churches are just so lucky.
Now, theater-wise, South Carolina Rep Company has a performance going right now?
The Lady with All the Answers, and it's Anne Land. It's sort of I guess a takeoff on her life, but not necessarily truly her life, because I think she's gone now, isn't she?
Yeah,
But
she is
anyway.
gone now. But I think it'd be kind of interesting to learn about her, and many people followed her with her columns and looked to her for advice. So that's again at the South Carolina Rep Company.
It is.
Art. If people love art, there are tons of places to visit here on the island. Tell us about some of those.
The Hilton Head Art League will have their show at the Walter Greer Gallery. There's one all the time. And get to Endangered Arts. My goodness, they have the beautiful, beautiful pieces by Weiland and James Coleman and other great people. Plus, did you know that the library has an art show every month?
So just to stop in there and you can take in some of the art. I know you also want to mention Picture This Art Gallery. Where are they located?
Yes, they are on Arrow Road, and would you believe every Wednesday night, if you are an artist, you'd be welcome anyway if you aren't. But as an artist, every Wednesday night they have a little wine and cheese, or they have a little show, or they do a little whatever they do, and talk about art, and it's just a wonderful program. And also the artist of Sea Pines. Do you know about that?
No, I just learned because I got your email on that, so let people know about that too.
I tried to find sneaky things that maybe we weren't so aware of, but down at CSA, you can find the art gallery down there, and a lot of those people are into playing art, which means going out and choosing art or things that are there here on our island, and just painting. People love to paint just for the art of
And we love to enjoy it too. And Nancy Watts, we appreciate some thoughts on what we can do over the next couple of weeks. Thanks so much for joining us.
I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.
And thank you for watching the Hilton Head News. I'm Allie McNair, and we'll see you the next time.